There we go. All right. Welcome, everybody, for our team call. Usually we just do chats and brainstorms, but I asked Rachel to come on here to kind of just share with us what she's been doing. I mean, Rachel she's in like really, really deep in our downline. And you guys know that I always do those monthly shout outs and the weekly top tens and the weekly shout outs, whatever. And I do it for the whole organization. And this girl's name keeps popping up. And like a few months ago, I was like, who is this Rachel? Like, where does she come from? Because I kept seeing her like pulling these huge numbers. And so a couple months ago, I think it was like during the summer, I was like, I figured out where she was. I even talked to Wendy. I'm like, who is this Rachel? And so I reached out to her. I'm like, what are you doing? What? All of a sudden, I'm starting to see your name. And she is one of the main reasons that I decided to actually really get into the social team builder, because that's what she told me. She's like, I did social team builder and I did it full out. And I'm like, all right, well, I paid for this like in January and I haven't done anything with it. So let me get on to this. And every month her names keeps popping up. And last month, as you guys do, I do the shout out for the top team builders. And she had signed up 23 new coaches in 1 month. And I'm like, holy hell, what are you doing? Because I'm doing social team builder too, but I'm not doing that. And so I was like, hey, can you just, it's great for me to have a conversation with her, and then have to, reiterate to everybody about it. I'm like, I'm just going to get her on our weekly call and have her tell us. So Rachel is a mom. She's been doing this for about 3 years. She started in February 15th. She's a lifetime two-star. She's been hitting Success Club 10 for 31 months with an average of 50 points. And so, like I said, that's why you see this, her name pop up in all the shout outs. So, I'm so excited, Rachel, to have you on here to tell us about everything and just, share with us like how, because you couldn't say, because a lot of times people want to give excuses like, oh, or they know so-and-so, or they had this, or they had this. And she is just a mom, a brand new mom, and is kicking some serious ass. And so, Rachel, take it away, lady.
Thank you, Teresa. That was such a nice welcome. Okay, and Teresa's so right. Like and sorry about we have like construction going on in our house in my office here. But so like she said, I'm like not I don't know a lot of people. I'm actually kind of an introvert, but I really dived into social team builder, and I'm a teacher, so I'm like a firm believer of just like implementing what you're taught. And so I did, and it wasn't overnight success. People always say like put in the work now and see the rewards in a year from now. And that has been so true for me. And about this time last year, I was kind of in a slump in my business. I was enormously pregnant and just was like, and I was like, come on, like frustrated. It was this time of the year. I was like, I'm frustrated that I'm not where I want to be with rank. I still kind of feel that way, but I'm not in a slump. So, and I was like, okay, like something's got to give. Either I'm, like need to throw it in, or I need to be all in. I'm not like a half-ass person in terms of, like your avenue. So if you're a walker, like when I was a walker, I was like a full out walker, and when I was a jogger, like I was a jogger, and now I'm a runner, and like I'm a runner. Okay. So I wasn't doing any of those things like half-assed, but then I was like falling, like, and I was deciding like, do I want to go back to just being a walker, or what do I want to do? So I decided like, no, I want this. I want to run. And one of my PS coaches actually just asked me to like kind of do a breakdown of like my income. So I was looking back at it, and about this time last year, like I said, I'd been in a slump and I wasn't doing my vitals every day and stuff. And I had probably my lowest check since I'd like been a baby coach, and I had a check for like $70. And I reiterated, like, if you're making $70, please don't feel bad, but like that was really low for me and like what I had built. And so I decided, like, I'm sure I felt like shit like when I got that check. I was like I'm so frustrated with myself. And now, so then I hit the ground running and I was like, okay, no, I'm doing this. I'm going to do these things every day. I'm going to do follow-ups like crazy. I'm going to do what I was taught. And now a year from now, I'm like this close to being able to say that I'm a six-figure earner. So a year ago I made $70, and now I'm excited to check my paychecks on Thursday. And I do work full time too. I'm a teacher full time. So I don't have a lot of time to work my business. And so when I'm working, I'm freaking working, like blinders on. I'm not answering my phone. Like that's put away. I actually do get it on my computer and it's really annoying. But so like I'm like doing one task at a time. So that's a huge advice I can give you is like when you're doing follow-ups, like do freaking follow-ups. Like don't answer messages unless you're answering messages, and don't like respond on the fly on your phone. Like doing those things, and like I don't get notifications on my phone for messages. So I don't respond on the fly. I only sit down I only respond when I'm working. So specifically about recruiting, I didn't even know, like, I don't even keep track of like my recruiting numbers and stuff. But so I think it was last month I hit like SC between mine and my husband's account, like 100. And it was my highest month. And I don't ever feel like I'm like, I don't ever feel like, well, you know, like I'm having to work really hard to pull in that many people. Like I just do all of my things every day, and by like cause effect, people sign up and join my boot camps. So because I'm inviting every day, I'm following up every day. So a couple of things that I do that do get people to sign up as coaches. So I always, always, always offer the discount, because that's why I signed up as a coach. And I don't know if I would have transitioned into being a working coach had I not already been a coach. Like I had started when I was like 21 or 22. So I think I would have been kind of annoyed to, even though it was going to like be refunded the $40, like I think I would have been annoyed by that step. So I don't know, you know, like what would have happened. So I always offer it. And also, I just said this to my PS coaches too. If I would have found out that I could have been saving money on Shakeology and my coach hadn't told me about that, I would have been freaking pissed at her. Even if I wouldn't have, you know, like decided to work, like I'm a huge like coupon advocate and stuff, like especially like that's such an easy thing. I would have been freaking pissed. Also, I offer it because I think it creates a different mindset for people signing up. It literally says, and I can share with Teresa and she can give it to you guys, like what I say. I give them the two options is after they've decided to get all access. I say like there's two options for enrollment. So here they are. I used to say like option one makes more sense, but I just took that out. Like you can choose. So I feel that when people decide to enroll as a coach, they have a different mindset, even if it's purely for the discount. They have the mindset that they're going to do this longer than 1 month. But if they sign up as a challenger, typically, not always, but typically they have the mindset that they're going to cancel before that 30 days is over. And I do have people who, like actually one of my really up-and-comer coaches, she signed up as a challenger. She totally intended on not continuing and fell in love with my boot camps, fell in love with the products. And now she signed up then for the discount, was annoying her friends, like being so happy. And so now she's on her way to Diamond. But so obviously that can happen the other way when they sign up as a challenger. I always like, I just now offer it because my groups are so large. It's not within my time constraints to check in with every person that signed up as a challenger to offer them the discount again. Plus, it kind of breaks my heart when they tell me that they're going to cancel Shakeology, so I save myself the heartbreak and let them do it like quietly. But so I post it within my group, within my boot camp, that they can my dog's like getting into stuff, that they can upgrade and save 25% on all their products. And my boot camps do require Shakeology, and if they want to continue in the next boot camp, they have to have it. So otherwise they can just join the large motivational group, but I digress. So that's how a lot of people start, like sign up as a coach initially. But I do pull in a lot of working coaches as well. So that's kind of step one. And it's not often for me that people come to me and say they want to do this. I don't think, because we tend to attract ourselves, or we want to anyways. And that would not have been me. It's like I would just never have sought out doing something like this. I didn't even think I wanted to. And so I do it a little bit different. Monthly, I run a sneak peek group, and I do it just myself. I've done this 75 million ways. Like I've done it with other leaders in my upline. I've done it with my team. I've done it on a Zoom call. I've done it in an hour. I've done, like we're always trying to find what works. And this is what works for me. And because, like I said, I am really looking to attract people, like I'm showing people that you can do this while you have a part-time job or a full-time job. You can do this as a part-time job and make full-time income. And so I want to present it that way. So for me, as a working mom, I don't have time necessarily to sit down for a full hour and watch a bunch of videos. And I don't really like videos. So, but people like to watch them. So I do them. But, so what has been working for me is I do a week-long coach sneak peek, and I go live in the group once a day and talk about a topic. And in the beginning, I have them like introduce themselves in the group, and not a lot of people do, but I'll circle back to how I invite to that group too. But they introduce themselves and they can ask a question if they want it to be answered. Most people, it's like typical things people want to know, like how you make money, how can I get signed up, how much does it cost? So it's things I plan on covering anyways. So I have a list of things that I cover, which I can send to Teresa as well. And so I just go live once a day and cover a topic. And that is really manageable for me as a coach, like adding that into all of my other daily tasks. And it feels manageable for people to watch. And I try to do it at the same time every day. Obviously, it doesn't always work because I'm a new mom, but I try my best, but people understand. And then when I don't get to do it at the same time, I'm like, see, you can work when you want to and stuff, like make it fun. And I'm just like me and silly. And I try to have like my son in a video because I'm trying to attract moms and he's adorable. So, just like really working to your niche. Like you have to just find like, how would you like to do it? Again, I don't even know if I would have participated in like a coach sneak peek like that, but I don't know, maybe I would have. But that's how I like to do it. So I would watch it that way. Does that make sense? So after it's over, it's actually 8 days because there's 8 topics. So I usually start it on a Saturday and then it finishes on a Sunday. And then the next week, at some point when it's on my to-do list, I message all of the people who were in that group, and I just like go into the members part of the group and message them. And I say, like, hey girl, thanks for being a part of the coach sneak peek. Is this something you could see yourself doing? Like so simple, so quick, just like a little like, hey, what did you think? Because a lot of people don't participate. I would not have participated. I would have been like scared shitless, like no way. I don't want to be like put myself out there, and if they are putting themselves out there then and asking questions and stuff, you need to sign their ass up like immediately. Because I've had some people do that. And so within the group, if people do sign up with you, like give them a shout out in the group, because other people will see that positive peer pressure will happen. Like then they're like, they'll have some FOMO, seriously. Like they're going to be like, well, maybe I want to do it too. So that has worked really well for me to, a lot of people who didn't say a thing in the group, didn't even do the intro post, were like, yeah, I want to sign up. How much? Can you tell me again how much it is? Because I didn't watch that one video, like, or something. Or, if they have a question, I'm like, go back and watch that video. I'll check in a couple of days. So that has worked really well for me. It's so incredibly manageable. It's fun. I just get to be myself and talk about, I'll just run through the topics really quick. I just keep them in a notes in my phone because I can't ever remember what to talk about. So I talk about day one, I talk about my coaching story. And you can do this in any order. How much time to spend on your business. So talking about power pockets, talking about putting in now and you're going to get it out in a year. Growing clientele through virtual boot camps, how to stay organized, a social media following, how to build a team, how to earn income, and lastly, sign up with All Access, waiving their coach fee or the $40, whatever. You guys know that. So before to talk about like what I'm posting, okay, hold on. So to get people into the group, I do, again, what would have attracted me. So I do a post like talking about something about coaching, whether it's like my amazing girls or, you know, like doing this. I love that I'm focused on me, like whatever. Maybe I've done things about the discount, you know, just talking about your story, whatever. There's so many different things to talk about with coaching. P.S. Nobody talks about coaching enough. I don't talk about coaching enough. Nobody does. And in that post, I just put the link within the post to that group. So then people can like sneaky join, and even them clicking that link will get your post more traction because they're doing something clickable on your Facebook post. So Facebook will like recognize that and send it out to more people. So that's what I would have liked to do. I would not have liked anybody to know I was doing that. Like, I don't want to comment an emoji. I don't want to give you like say me. I don't want to do any of that. But clicking the link and asking to be entered into the group, you get a lot of people that do that. So like my last group ended up with like 60 people or something. And I literally post like every day for like 5 days before I do the group. I really should do it longer. And this past time I had a couple people who were already like teetering on deciding to be a coach, which was great. And they came in and they were like, oh, this doesn't start for 2 more days. Like, I should just sign up. So they were already like, you know, like getting people ready to participate. I really should have like a trickster in there. You know, I'm just kidding. But like, hey, drop some comments and stuff. But so that's how I've been running my coach sneak peeks. And it's been super helpful. One more thing I do that I did last time. So I do that monthly, a monthly for a week, and then just once a month. And then if you're not doing Instagram stories, you should absolutely be doing Instagram stories. And there's this really cool thing you can do in Instagram stories with a poll. So I'm going to just like take a picture here. So it's just like a picture of you guys. So you can do this poll and you can ask any question. So I could say like, I've done this before. Are you interested in learning more as what I do as a coach, or whatever you want to say, yes or no. And you can change the choices. You can do a poll about anything. It's fun. So then after it's posted, you can actually go in. You can not only see who saw your Instagram story, but you can see who voted for what. Oh my gosh, so huge. So all those people that said yes, all I have to do is like have a message in my notes or something with the group link, and message them and say like, you should join my coach sneak peek. Like say something at the beginning, like blah, blah, blah. You should join my coach sneak peek and see what I learn more about what I do. And then just link it. Like, that's it. But all of those people probably are, like the last time I did this, I had like 60 people I messaged, because a lot of people are watching my Instagram stories, but maybe they don't follow me on Facebook yet or whatever. So it's just a whole new avenue. And that was like, my gosh, it was like so easy to do that. And people are like, I don't know who to invite. Like, just ask a question and then you'll have people to invite. So there's a lot. I talk really fast when I have a lot to say because I don't want to like forget. But so those are my big things. So offering the discount, Instagram stories, and how I do my coach sneak peek. That's it.
That is awesome. Okay, so I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but I do have 3 questions. So you said you offer the discount coach. Like, do you have like a majority of the people that sign up to join your challenge group? do they like the majority of them like, yeah, I'll sign up for the discount?
Yeah.
Majority of them do that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then you said you did the sneak peek by yourself. Do you include your downline? Like if they have
Yes.
people in there, they do the same thing?
Yep.
Okay. And
I
then
do let them, especially if they're new and they're not like comfortable like talking about a lot of that stuff yet, then I'm like, yeah, and they do a great job, honestly, of like even just tuning into the live video, and they'll like comment and like just be engaging, which is helpful then too.
Yeah. And then my last question, so I know you do social team builder, so you do a lot of it on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but you do a lot on Instagram as well, right? So you do both in recruiting for both. Do you like, because I watch your page all the time. You're like one of, like when you go to insights and you can see the people's like monitor people. Yeah, I stalk you, dude. Stalk you. One of the things I've always wanted is because your engagement is always high. You always have like a percentage that's growing and stuff like that. Do you on your Instagram page, do you constantly have ads running? I mean, are these all like cold market people, or like how do you have the groups going, but how do you meet the new people or get all the new people to start the conversations with and get them in the groups, get them in the sneak peeks and stuff like that?
For Instagram, so I'm a firm believer that you need to master one social platform at a time. And so I feel like I've got Facebook on lock now. And so now I'm getting into Instagram. I do not have running ads on Instagram yet because I don't know how to like fully do it to the best dollar, whatever. So that's on my to-do list. But so my market over there is been a cold market. I've been lucky that a few like moms pages have asked to like do a free shout out. So I do have a decent following on my Instagram. But I'm looking to grow that too. But also like it's always changing. So, like making sure I'm doing like all of the things like Instagram stories and posting about it on Instagram. And like, then I'll say like the link is in my bio to learn more about, my sneak peek. Mm-hmm. And when people are joining Facebook, I don't necessarily know like where they're finding me, and that's okay right now because that's just too much for me. But so there's just lots of ways, and you can work on growing your Instagram by like searching hashtags and you following people, and hopefully they will follow you back. So some people say who train on Instagram to like try to follow like 100 people a day, and I don't have time for that, but I have time for like 20. So I've been doing that, and that helps grow it too. So then your market is always growing. Gotcha. Over there.
What about on your Facebook page? Do you have like a constant ads running on there, like your ad for your page and ad for your post and stuff like that? How do you work that?
I only have ads going to like my page, and then I do all of my engagement like within my page. So I just like do a fun thing every Saturday, like a comment this XYZ thing. And I'm always responding to comments and messages and stuff. So that naturally has built that into my page. And so people feel like it's a safe place.
Gotcha. So right now, do you say that your majority of your people come from your Facebook page or from the page?
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, Facebook page. And so do you post on your personal page anymore, or do you just do everything on your business page?
Yes.
Do you share stuff on your personal page? Do you do anything on your personal page? It's just kind of there, and you do everything else?
Yeah, I just do personal stuff on my personal page, like things about my son, and I'll do like a couple of things like I might share something over like, hey, check this out. Like my team was ranked this month. Like that was really cool. But I hardly ever post on my personal page, just personal things.
Very cool. So because I know you sent me your follow-up. You sent me that like a long time ago. So like you said, if you just do follow-ups, it's just like, what follow-up system? Do you write everything down? Do you use Teamzy? Teamzy?
Yeah. And I love it. But actually the creators of Social Team Builder are coming out with a tracking system of their own, and it's supposed to be like a compilation of like all of the tracking systems. I get to like preview it, but again, on my to-do list for Christmas break. But what I've heard so far is that it's pretty amazing. So
I bet you they probably have way really good insights for exactly what we need to be doing. I had one more question, and I just like when you were talking, it totally. But does anybody else have any questions? I mean, we have her on here. I guess for your coaches, because do you have your coaches get on Social Team Builder as well? Or is that like do you like not require them, but like refer them to that? Or how do you get your coaches to follow your systems to get the engagement that you have?
So most people like want to be on a business page because they like, that's so many people's fear is like bugging their friends and family. Mm-hmm. And I just say like, listen, like if you want to be successful at that, then you have to do a training on ads. Otherwise it's like worthless. And so I encourage them, and I was really fortunate that Jesse asked me to speak on the webinar that he did last time. Mm-hmm. So my coaches got to hear me and a couple of other coaches' success. So I did have this past time, I had like 5 or 6 coaches sign up for that training. But that's something I struggle with, is asking my coaches to, that's just a personal like limitation that I would do it again 3,000 times, but I understand that other people have different financial situations, and investing in your business can be very hard, like a hard bullet to bite, but it is so crucial. And once I put that aside and I said like this, and I just tell them, if you're not going to do it, it's not going to work. But if you're going to do it and do the things that he's teaches you, and really commit to the training, it is effective. So, because I don't want anyone to fail. Like that's just like the teacher and me. Like, but you have to do the work too. Yeah, for sure. So just being transparent about that has gotten a lot more of my coaches on board with that.
It has been like, successful for them to get the engagement going and getting the conversations. So I didn't know that you were a full-time teacher. Like I mean, I knew you had the baby. I just kind of assumed you were like, the rest of us stay-at-home moms. So how do you schedule your time? Because we have a lot of people that work full-time, have children, you know what I mean? So like, how do you, like, when do you work? What is your time schedule? Like, how do you fit this all in being a teacher and a brand new mommy?
So I think it's really important to unplug for multiple hours a day. So if people like text me or messaging me from like 4 to 7, I'm not going to respond until 7. And my coaches know that, and other people, I don't care what they think, but like messages, So what I do is like when I get up in the morning, I get up at like 5, and my workout is first. Like you have to be you focused. Always working on you. So I do my workout. I listen to PD while I'm driving my son to my mother-in-law's, and on my way to work. And then that's usually like all I have time for in the morning. And then when I get to work, I'm fortunate that I have a first hour prep time. And so when I get to work about 8, and school doesn't start until 8:45. So I use that 8 to 8:45 time to crank out my follow-ups. I do not love to do follow-ups, but I do not love the number on Teamsy that tells me how many I have to do less. So I do them first, because otherwise they'll get put off, and that's something that can never be put off, in my opinion, is follow-ups. So like answering messages, like people can wait 24 hours for you to get back to them. They will live. And they will learn to respect your time, because you have to respect your time. Mm-hmm. So I digress. Okay, so then I do whatever I need to do for school. I teach, and then during my lunch, I work during my lunch, and I pump at the same time. So I like triple task. And that's usually me messaging people back. And we also have I teach in a middle school, so we have 5-minute passing time. And so sometimes that's that's when I'm like scheduling posts and stuff. On your business page, you can schedule posts. That's a huge perk, in my opinion. So then I'm scheduling those so I don't have to worry about it during the day. And I don't have to worry about it like when school gets out, because when school gets out, I want to go see my baby. And then that's it for the afternoon. And that's it really for the rest of the day until my son goes to bed between 7 and 7:30. And then I sit down and I work until I go to bed at like 8:30. I'm like 85, but not 25. And so I just like work, and then when I'm done, I struggle to be done, but I don't work from my phone. So I log off my computer and I'm done and go to bed. But when I'm working, like I'm seriously, so if you want to make this work and you work full time, you have to be blinders on and dedicated.
And then during your work, you're just doing your vitals, your follow-ups, your invites, you're commenting on the people. So like when you have those, like the viral posts, they talk about social team building, and they're messaging them. Do you do like, do you message everybody that comments on your posts? Or do you just kind of like comment on them, reply to them, and then select a few or whatever?
I don't message all of those people that are commenting unless they're a new contact. And I should have said this, but I just like forget. So I do have, because I work full time, I do have a virtual assistant from the Philippines, and she's amazing. And I've had her since the summer. And so she does that initial messaging for me because I just don't have time to do that. And so she just sends them like a quick, obviously as me, like, thanks for the love. Do you work out too? It's like so quick. And a lot of people don't respond, but a lot of people do. And so that gets a really natural conversation started. And then because I comment on everybody's stuff, then once a week I do a call to action with an application to join my boot camp, like a Google form. And then I get a lot from that. So I don't feel like I have to invite behind the scenes. If it comes up in conversation and they're like, I'm looking for a routine, I'm like, girl, you should join my boot camp. And my ads are bringing in my avatar. Like they're bringing in exactly who I want to work with. Mm-hmm. So that's not challenging for me to invite because I want to work with new moms. So that's who I'm bringing in.
I have a question. So can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. So your assistant, is this when people newly like your page? Sorry, I can't hear with these things. When they newly like your page, they send out the thanks for the love, are you into working out too? Or when someone first comments on a post that you do?
She does both. And it's a little bit, and she just changes like, thanks for liking my page versus thanks for the love.
That's awesome.
Because sometimes it shows up different. Like they might like something and not follow your page yet. It can just be weird. So she knows what to do now. I don't know what she does anymore. She just runs. I feel like she just like runs my life for me, like behind the scenes.
And where did you find your virtual assistant? Like,
it's through a site called onlinejobs.ph, and you can just like post the job. And then I had like a zillion applicants. And so I just like found a few who, sounded good. And I asked her if she would do like a video, like talking about herself and like what she was familiar with social media. And she's been absolutely amazing. She's so cute. She like always messages me every day and she calls me Rach, like we're like BFFs. It's so cute. I love her.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that's good. And so you just keep those conversations going and you have it all structured so it fits into your, like, I'm really, really impressed. I honestly did not know that you worked full time.
Thank you.
That is freaking amazing.
Not much longer, but I do.
Well, yeah, and we all have that goal at one point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is freaking amazing to be recruiting and doing all of that and with the brand new baby and you know what I mean and stuff like that. So I'm blown away. So that is so cool. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm trying to think. I mean, trying to get as much as I can suck out of her right now. Like, just give me your brain for like a second. Anybody have any questions? Like, so I do have one question. So how, like, let's say from starting Social Team Builder to, because I know for a while you were bringing in Success Club points, but not really bringing in coaches, right? Like,
right.
the numbers. So like, do you remember the time frame from like when starting Team Builder to getting your challenge group filled to building the team?
So it's been like this summer. So it took me like a year of being like all in, and honestly it was like posting more about coaching. Like I just wasn't talking about it enough. People just didn't even know what I was doing or that they could do it too. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's just like a combination of all those things, like building the rapport with people and talking about coaching more. So that's another really easy way to do that is on Instagram stories. Like you're just showing people, like I'm like, oh, like sitting down to work today, like,
ready for the picture, guys.
Yeah, right. So a combination of those two things.
I have a question.
Another question real quick. Can you, since you do your 8-long sneak peek, can you tell us, is that the same exact time every single month? Like how do you transition from a sneak peek to a challenge group to any other like free group or whatever if you do one for the month? Is that like a pretty routine thing?
No, because I've always found that people, some people take one day to sign up and some people take like 6 months to sign up. So I don't necessarily even have them like domino. I do the coach sneak peek when it's going to fit better into my schedule to do that video every night, because it takes me like that's an extra video every night because I'm going live on my page, I'm going live in my personally sponsored group, and then I'm going live in that coach sneak peek. So it's just a lot of added time. So I really just look at my schedule and decide what's going to work best for me. And free groups aren't happening for me right now because I just don't have. Once I'm not working full time, then I'd love to do free groups again. But I'm just all in my challenge groups, getting people results, talking about coaching. I post the coach sneak peek group there too, so that people are like checking that out too.
Very cool. I think somebody else had a question. Angela? Yeah, Angela.
Hey, hi. When did you know that it was time to get a virtual assistant? Is that from the very beginning, or when your business started getting to a certain level?
So I've had her since the summer, and I've been a coach for at that point I'd been a coach for like a little over 2 years, and it was just getting to the point where I just couldn't manage everything that I wanted to independently, and I wasn't satisfied with the numbers I was hitting. So, and I kept hearing people say, like, I think Shalene says it, like, you need an assistant before you realize you need one, like, or something. I don't know. She obviously says it better, but like, and it takes your business to the next level. So, like, once I had her doing stuff that, you know, like is not an income producing behavior, like she makes all my graphics and stuff. Like, I don't have time to do that, but it does help with the morale of my team and whatever. So once I got my virtual assistant, then my numbers increased, my income increased. Like, it's a no-brainer to pay her like $100 a week or whatever. Like, I don't even know what it ends up being. And that's 2 challenge packs. And I just, at one point I was like, I'm just giving you a raise. Like, this is amazing. Like, you know, like, would I have been able to hit Success Club 100 without her? No way. Because when I get things like I have that Google form, it puts it into a spreadsheet. So like right now for my December, like I've been running this call to action all month since the beginning of November. I have like 80 applicants in it. Like, so she puts all of those into Teamsy for me. Like, that's an enormous time saver for me. I do not have time to put in 80 people into Teamsy with their, like, and logging it and doing a follow-up date. She does all of that for me. I do my own follow-ups and all of my own combos, but it's just that, like, building stuff that she does for me so that I can do the things that make me happy, you know, like not the things that keep me down in the dirt.
That's smart. Very, very smart. I think, Carmen, you had one, right?
Yeah, I was just curious. I work full-time too, and I find myself struggling with remembering to post things or to get things scheduled. Do you have like a posting schedule that you stick to, certain topics that you stick to same day every week, same stuff every week? What do you like? Do you stick to certain topics?
Besides like meal prep Sunday, no. I really recommend like using like a notes app in your phone. Like when I think of something, like write it out in the moment because your feelings will project into your posting. And I feel like I do my best posting after I've listened to PD. Like things just like come to me like while I'm listening to PD.
Mm-hmm.
So like have your phone out and like be able to just like write up posts so that when you're like, oh shit, I need to post, you can just copy and paste.
Okay.
That's what works for me.
Perfect.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you put a link to a Google form. You have them fill that out, which I like that because you're right. A lot of people don't like posting. And then your assistant puts it into Teamsy. And from there on, when you're reaching out to these people, are you reaching out to them via private message on your like page, or are you following up with them via email?
Email.
Okay.
Which I prefer.
Yeah.
I never thought I would, but I prefer doing it on email. And I tell them in the Google form initially, I say you may need to check your promotions folder for my initial email. And I have most people respond.
Very cool. So just an average, so that if anybody listening to this now or the recording, like how many messages are you doing in a day? Like an average, like how many emails do you think you say you're sending? Like how many people you're talking to in a day? Like you hit 50 with last month between you and your husband. Like how many people did you talk to last month to get that 50 points?
A lot. So that's like 30 new conversations at least a day. I do about 50 follow-ups a day. And the more inviting and conversations you're doing, your follow-up numbers should be increasing. They should be like on that slope. It should be equal. As one grows, the other should grow. And yeah, so like 100 people a day. And yeah, so I'm talking to 100 people a day and getting to help 50 because that's like, and I just had to wrap my brain around that. Like there are so many, I actually thought as a new coach, I remember saying this to Wendy that I was like, I'm going to run out, there's going to be a point where there's no more people to help. Like there's so many coaches. And she was like, no, that's not a thing. Like that's a self-limiting belief. And I've never like, at this point, like I'm proof of that. Like I've been a coach for almost 3 years and I'm hitting my highest numbers now, like 3 years later. Like that's crazy. But there are so many, and there are so many people I talk to who have heard of Beachbody and tried it before, but there's so many people who have not. Mm-hmm. There are people who have never even heard of it. And so you have to be ready to have that many conversations with people.
Mm-hmm. And
that is insane to me.
I know, and being organized and having the virtual assistant definitely helps with that first conversation, getting your spreadsheet, in your Google form and stuff like that, and then you can do the real, meat of the stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I know I spend a lot of times copying and pasting. Thanks for liking my page.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly what I was going to say. It's a copy and paste message for her. And she logs like her hours for me. Like she works about 2 hours a day. That's 2 hours a day I do not have to give, but I have big goals. So I had to figure out a way to make it happen. She makes it happen.
And with because I know one of the things, I do a lot of my follow-ups. I don't do email. That could be changing very soon. But like how many times, I know we're going to get this question. I know I get this a lot of times too. Like how many times do you follow up with somebody who doesn't respond to you?
7
times.
7 times. And on the 6th one, I asked them like, hey, do you want me to stop? Like, give me something, like it's asking for feedback. And the 7th one says like, good luck. They're very nice.
Yeah. No, that's true. I do know I get that question. I'm like, how many times do you, like they're not telling me no, but they're not answering me, and stuff like that. And I do sometimes I look at my message. I'm like, oh, I've sent her like 3. Hey,
Right.
Ready to go do this. Hey, you remember we're going to do this. So that's good to know. Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, first off, like your time management skills have my mind freaking blown right now.
Thank you.
Because the fact that you can send that many messages and you're working like 3 hours a day because
Right.
you work time and you have a family, and I stay home and I'm like, I can't, you're amazing. Okay, anyway, I digress. So when you're sending these 7 messages or whatnot, are these, when you're having these conversations via email, are you organically emailing them back, or do you sort of have scripted emails that you change when you're doing these follow-ups?
So it's just like, so what I'm logging into Teamsy is like follow-up number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, or number 7. So it's literally copy and paste from a script. But I do them because I don't always remember to log like where if they message me back and they're like, oh, it's been raining a lot, so I just can't, or whatever, I don't always log that into Teamsy. So I do all my own follow-ups, but it's just a copy and paste from a script. And I just literally, and actually it's kind of funny how they work out. Like it almost always works out like where people come back into the conversation. They're all different. And like the 5th one is like, I know the time wasn't great before, is now better or something. And it almost always works out like that's what they had said before. It's just kind of cool, like how the universe like gets your back and stuff. But
Gotcha. All right.
That's awesome. Does anybody else have any awesome questions? We have her, ladies. We have her for like 12 more minutes. Anybody? Oh, Angela. Okay, I've unmuted you. Go ahead, Angela.
Maybe you guys covered this because I came in a little late. Okay, Teamsy. Is that a CRM? Who's that by? Is that by Beachbody?
No. It's not by Beachbody, but it was first created for Beachbody coaches. Now all their MLMs, they've created it to cater to other MLMs, but it is really tailored, right? I know Shannon's used it, and Rachel, of course. I mean, and Daphne. Yeah, it's kind of tailored right towards Beachbody and how we do stuff.
So it's different than automatic CEO.
Yes, because I don't think Teamsy is actually like an email campaign, right? It's just a tracker. An automatic CEO is like an email campaign and a tracker, I believe. But Teamsy, there's no email campaign functionality. It's just like putting your people in and tracking where you're talking to them and different stuff like that.
Yep.
But what's really cool that I like about Teamsy, sorry, my kids back there, you put in there like what your income goal is for the year, and it automatically calculates how many new prospects you have to talk to a day, how many coaches you have to follow up to, how many new customers you have to reach out. I mean, it's like, it can't be any simpler, like, 12, 7, 5. Like, every single day what metrics you have to reach in order to hit that income goal you have. And I've used a lot of customer management tools before, and Teamsy by far is like the easiest for me to use and follow up with and just manage alone. So.
Yeah, and it's a really turnkey system from what I remember. It's like it's already set up, tells you who you need, you know what I mean? You don't have to go set up tags or set up systems or set up anything to customize for you. It's there. You use it how it is, and people rock it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think when you sign up, it actually has you pick which MLM you're a part of, and I think it's sort of tailored. And then, okay, Rachel, I have one more question. They just keep coming. So Teresa and I are both in Social Team Builder, and I know some of the other coaches here are. So when you made the big change from your personal page to your like page, did you do the whole like post a new cover photo, follow me here? Did you sort of make a bold statement that you were moving, or how'd you do that?
So I did, because like everybody was doing that, but looking back, it was unnecessary for me to do, because most of the people I was friends with are not my avatar. So they don't care what I'm doing, so the people who want to follow you over are going to follow you, like by seeing that you're sharing stuff, they're going to go like your page. They are. So looking back, like it was unnecessary for me to do that. Like I'm sure, like, you know, I'm sure my mom, like, you know, went to like my page when I posted that and stuff, you know, but you're really, unless your personal page already has a bunch of people who are your avatar, mine did not. So it was unnecessary for me to ask them to follow me. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. And then how long do you think it took you from doing the split testing, the audiences, how long do you think it took you to like really nail down that avatar?
Like 6 months of work.
Wow, okay.
It was definitely not an overnight thing. And it took me like 40 videos or something. Like I was like, this is crazy. I'm so pissed at all these people who have like 1 cent winning ads. And you just have to decide, like, this is kind of sidebar, you know, like social team builder, but I was willing to pay a little bit more like cost per like to get quality likes. So I was willing to pay a little bit more and also to like be done. I was like, oh my God, this is like crazy. So I was like, once I got one to like 13 cents or something, I was like, hell yeah. Like other people were like 4 cents. I'm like, cool, good for you. But no, I was like, but I'm willing to pay a little bit more to have quality likes. And some other like audiences I was doing, like they cost me a little bit more per like, but it gets me more of that other type of avatar that I was looking for. So you just have to decide like what you want to spend on ads and if you're okay with a little bit higher cost. I would never do anything like higher than 35 cents. But yeah.
No, that
we
makes
all
sense.
laugh because we've all been there. We've all like uploaded 9 million videos and we're like, oh, shit.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I need to go redo mine because mine did really good. I was like at 6 cents, you know, I was doing really good. And then now they're not there no more. I'm like, I think I need a new video. I think they're kind of bored of seeing me do hip drops right now.
I know.
That's how mine are right now. Yeah.
I need a new video. One more last question. I have 2 last questions. Your challenge groups. Do you have an ongoing challenge group, or do you get like a new one? Start a new one. Do you use a tracker? Or do you use Facebook?
I use Facebook. And I've run into like maybe just a couple of people who don't have Facebook. Most people are willing to like have a Facebook account too. It's just people like it on Facebook. My people.
I agree.
And I do a new one every month, and then I like the new link up feature of Facebook, so I link the new group. And I just found this out that when people ask to join the new group, you can ask the group a question. So I'm going to be doing this now. Like they have to tell me what flavor of Shakeology they're drinking and like how much they have left, because that's a requirement for my group. If they decide not to continue with Shakeology, they can be a part of my larger, just like motivational group that me and some of my other coaches just from time to time, but it's not a boot camp.
All right. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And then my last question is, so what is your personal development right now? Like, what are you, or what was like, maybe like the most impactful personal development, you know, cause you were last year, you said your check was $70 and a lot of people are quitting because of that, or they're going back to doing stuff, you know, like was there like a personal development? What was it, or something that you like, you know, that really got me going, like going from $70 paycheck to almost a year later to almost getting that 6-figure weekly income.
Yeah.
You know, that you did, that you went for it. You know what I mean? You're like, you had 2 choices, you know?
So 2 things. One, it really bothers me that so many people are quitting and going to other MLMs. So that like my success partner did quit and went to a different MLM. And so, and was like, let's stay friends. And like, she was like, just kidding, I don't want to be friends anymore. And so I was like, you know what, like I'm going to show her, I bet she's going to still watch me. And I'm going to show her that that was a stupid move. You know, so like that kind of fueled my fire. And the personal development that changed my business is Get Over Your Damn Self. Everybody should read that book.
Yep.
Everybody should read that book. And I'm reading right now or listening to Mastering Your Inner Mean Girl, and that, or I don't think it's inner, but Mastering Your Mean Girl, and it's really good. And I recommend it on Audible because her accent is amazing.
Awesome. Mastering Mean Girl. That one I have not heard yet. Perfect. All right. So we are like, we have 5 minutes left. So does anybody have any questions? Have anything you'd like to ask or say or anything while we have her? No? All right. Well, Rachel, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are. I mean, like I said, I was already in love with you, but now that like you're 3 hours and you're doing this, like you seriously have a woman crush on you right now.
Yeah, I am going to chime in only because her name has been at the top of my report. So I'm Sarah Lenore's coach. So when I run all of our downline reports, I'm like, who is this Rachel Baldwin? So Stephanie Raff is a coach on our team, and she's always like, you need to get her on a call. So I was so excited that she was on the Team Motivate call. Because again, you've just been like this like imaginary rock star because I've never met you. Like, who is this girl? So your numbers every month consistently, child, is just
thank you. I remember when I started, it's so sweet of you, Daphne, that's so sweet. I remember when I started and I listened to the National Wake Up Call, and I think they used to tell numbers, like, and I would always hear like Danielle Natoni, like top success club point earner, she like always is. But now my name is up there a lot, and that's very bizarre to me because like I just want to like hit home, like I'm nobody special, like like I live in where I grew up. I'm 26. I'm a teacher. I work full time. I'm a mom. Like none of these things make me extraordinary. Like I don't have like, I don't know, like sometimes we look at these coaches who have all these shiny things, like, and so if I can do it, like anybody can do it. Like you just have to be willing to do the work. None of the things we do are hard. They just take consistency.
That gave me chills. Like I can just like, cause it's true. I mean, like you're not in a video, you're not in a press group, you're not related to anybody, you're not in anybody's entourage. You're a 6-year-old mom who is killing it 3 hours a day. Like like I said, if somebody doesn't listen to this and doesn't feel like, okay, I can do this, then I don't know what else I can do for you. I don't know what else I can share with you, let you know that this is a possibility to do. Like seriously, so thank you so much for taking your time to come on. Love it. And I'll keep seeing your name on that list. So everybody, you know what? Have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Everybody who's on the road to obsession, get ready for a 3-day refresh with no fruit next Monday. And we have a pot that's like, I don't know if you know, Rachel, but we are doing did she leave already? Anyways, I think the last time I looked, it was like almost $800. So I mean, like the pot. So the 3 top point earners on that group is going to. I mean, it's going to be a really nice pot. And you guys think about it. We're going to do this again for when 80 Day Obsession comes on. So I mean, I'm super excited about getting us all together and doing that. It's going to be so much fun. So everybody have a good Turkey Day. Bye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.